The air is different already. It's not even Lag BaOmer yet, but there's something in the air.
Ready? Today we are in Crown Heights speaking with Giti Stolik, a special education teacher working closely with students with learning and language disabilities, a writer, and a longtime member of the community. Her humorously referred to her most preferred academic title as MS, Mastery of Simcha. We're here to talk about the safety means for Jewish life today and how tradition, including Lag BaOmer, which we are having today, connects the ideas of unity, resilience, and belonging. Thank you for speaking with us.
It's a real pleasure for me to be here doing this with you.
I will ask probably something that worry all Jewish world is, do you feel safe living in Crown Heights today?
It's going to be a very quick answer. I do. Will I walk anywhere that's within the parameters of Crown Heights without looking around? It depends how many people I know on that block or that I know that live there. So there are different areas within Crown Heights that there's outskirts and and truth is, I have a granddaughter. She's 11 going on 12. She's not scared to go anywhere.
Has that feeling changed after October 7th?
Thank God, no. I think maybe it's based on what a person has experienced. I personally have experienced only good encounters. I also make it my business when I do my daily walking. I look at every person passing by, I make eye contact, and ready with a smile, happy to say good day where possible. Truth is, there are some people that I avoid looking their way, but by and large, I had very positive experiences. My husband also has so many people cheering him on. He runs on Eastern Parkway, and people cheer him on, and they say nice, supportive things for the Jewish nation, and that's our experience.
What does safety mean to you personally? Is it physical, emotional, or something deeper?
They're all three. The question is the hierarchy. Which one will I stack on the top, next, and below? Every person has to do things that are safe. We have to close our doors. We have to make sure that windows have locks where needed. I did not want to put bars on. You can't see it on the camera, but there are windows in the front of my house that you can access from my porch, but I did not want to put bars on here. I want to live with a feeling of freedom. What's most important to me is how I live in my brain, my mind, my being. Above all, I live as a safe, secure person, walking always with God. I know that whatever happens, we can be the most safe and still something can happen. And I know that you can be reckless and nothing will happen. We know that everything in our life is divinely orchestrated. So I don't want to waste my life. I have a line here, if I could find it. So this is my first one. It's okay to laugh, seriously. It's about laughing at yourself, laughing at life, why people laugh. Why do Jews laugh? Why do children laugh? Why does God laugh? The other book I wrote is an extension of this one, and it's called New Joy, Response to a Changing World. You're all going to think I wrote it after Corona, but I did not write it after Corona. I wrote it before. So you're going to ask me, so how did you know that the world is going to change so drastically that you'll put it on as your subtitle? I did not, but I am a follower of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. and he's nonstop promoting that the world is coming to its final glorious finale, and it's changing, and we're on the cusp. So I tapped into his prophecy with the subtitle. Now, this idea about the quality of life, if I can find it in here, is that we kind of live with a feeling of we're not living, we're avoiding dying. And somebody will live 70, 80 years, or 90 years, or 100 years, and she didn't live. She spent her whole life avoiding dying. Do you want to live like that? No. I have one life in this world. I want to maximize that I will live with a free feeling, a powerful feeling, and that's what joy is. It's power. And that's why this is the best topic for everyone to adopt and make this your favorite topic. What is Geulah? Does everybody know what Geulah means? Geulah is redemption. What is redemption? What is Geulah? Geulah really means a positive space, a positive time, a way of living that is positive. How to do it? That's our work. That's our work, and that's our study. I want to recommend an amazing book, Positivity Bias. It's been a massive bestseller. It takes stories of the Rebbe where he's a positivity genius, and he shifts and shows you in every situation the blessing and the positive. And we hear those stories, and then we learn to apply it in our own lives.
How do you think a unity and this way of thinking within the community affects how people feel safe?
You know, unity, let's admit it, it's a challenge. People have ways of thinking. As a matter of fact, right now we're in these interim days between Passover and Shavuot, and we're counting. And it's a time of counting to improve on a daily basis, but it's also a time that we do not make weddings. We have certain rules of limiting you don't listen to the music, those who practice, right? Why? Because the students of Rabbi Akiva were dying in huge numbers. Why? Because of lack of unity. Well, what does this mean? They were great people. So lack of unity can be so subtle, and it's, oh, my way is the best way. I know the right answer. I have the truth. I'm the one that gets it. And this guy doesn't. So he's not as quality as I am, because he just doesn't get it. So in my mind, I'm already not respecting him the same, and I want to impose my will on his. So I'm not giving him space. But you know what? Everybody has a different way of wanting to express their way that God wired them with a personality, and they're seeing it in the viewpoint, in the lens of their own personality. So first give the person space and say, okay, I hear what you are saying, and I understand that you're coming from a place that I see that you believe in that, and I admire your conviction. And I do not see it that way, but I will also give honor to you that you are entitled to have your own convictions. So there can be so many subtle layers, and it is a great challenge, and that's why unity is promoted as, if you would all be unified, then the Geulah would come immediately. So it's something that we really have to deal with, no matter, even in this community, no matter if you think you're the greatest person, you don't know. Sometimes I feel that God will actually put a screen in front of a person and say, this person should not see the light because you need to grow, and you need to deal with that person's screen and overcome. That's your work. So we have many subtle or not so subtle things that we're all dealing with. And we all asking God, please, 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 bless us with the power to be able to see each other, to see the light that each one has to offer, not the darkness that we think someone is imposing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, there is something in Jewish tradition that speaks about importance of how people treat one another.
Actually, I see your question as quite similar to the one that I answered before, because I already mentioned this whole idea of how we treat each other, and treating doesn't only have to be being polite or impolite. It can also mean the treatment I give this person in my head. Why? Because that's where it starts. The way I think, the next thing it comes out in speech. And the next thing after that, it comes out in action. So you have to start from the inside. Think about this person in a positive way, and then I will speak more respectfully. Because actually, if I don't think that way, then I will not respect the person in my deed either. And I will ignore or overcome or overshout and you see, everything that happens on many strata. We talk about interactive relationship and mutual respect. Also takes place within me how I see myself and my respect of my own self. Many people, most people struggle with recognizing their own value. So there may be lacking unity within me. And I may be coming out with positive messages, but I don't really believe it inside me. But I want to believe it inside me, so I say a lot of positive messages, but am I integrating it into myself? So I have to have unity within me. And when I do have unity within me, the way I express myself to others will be completely different. Last week, and there was a tall, slim woman standing by the elevator, just she and me, and she says to me, "Shalom." Okay, she saw I looked Jewish. And then, very nice, we started to talk. And then I said, "Have you been affected by October 7th in any way?" And she says, "Not really, I never practiced religion." And I said, "Do you ever hear your soul speaking to you?" So she says, she's thinking. And then I say, okay. I gave her a chance to think. She couldn't think of anything. I said, "I'm going to tell you how your soul spoke to you just now." She looks at me like, "How?" I said, "The fact that you reached out to another Jew, you felt a kindred spirit with another Jew, because all of us are really made pieces of one giant soul. We all have one Father, God, who created all of us, and that soul came into many people. It can subdivide infinitely. And so we are really one. We are really connected. And that was your soul that sensed it. So speaking about unity, do you see that picture? We really all so connected that even if we disagree, please just remember that we are connected, and that inside all of this disagreement, we are sisters and brothers, and we have one Father.
Let's speak a little bit about Lag BaOmer meaning. Lag BaOmer is often connected to lessons about respect and unity. What does this day mean to you personally?
So much. The air is different already. It's not even Lag BaOmer yet, but there's something in the air. This is an extraordinarily holy, powerful day. Think how radically different this is. Someone's passing away, and he says, "Do not mourn me." He was an extraordinary person. Of course he will be mourned. What a loss to the world. No, but he didn't see that way. He saw the truth. We see concealment. He didn't see. Nothing was hidden from his eyes. This is something we're dealing with, that we should look at something and we say it's dark here, and we should say, well, behind this darkness is tremendous light. But he didn't have any concealment because he was a very lofty soul. And he's the one that gave us the Holy Zohar, which has all the inside story of the Torah. So he said, on the day of my passing, you will be extremely happy. So, yes, we're not just, because it's so radical, and we are for one day living in a state of literally Geulah, somehow something is given to us that we could just transcend the concealment of our weekday world and go into that space. And it's not our space. It's a space that the Rabbi has made available for us. I remember when there was this tragic calamity in Miron, when all these people were killed. And I remember the next day I was posting, this is not just what we think it is. This is an attack on our simcha. Not just for them, this is our simcha, because it's the happiest day in the most holy place, because the other side that's fighting for us to see this, there's forces that want to block good things from happening. That's their job. They're doing a good job. So anytime they see good things are happening, they come and they try to derail it. So yes, it was an attack on the simcha, but that's the point that we have to take from it. We will not go down under. You will not stop us. Nothing will stop us. We are unstoppable. This is the Jewish nation. We are a bunch of stubborn, stiff-necked people.
That's true. What can the story of Rabbi Akiva's students teach us today? What do you think?
He had a huge amount of students before. 24,000 students, I think, was that the amount? And we don't hear about them. But who do we hear from? Who do we hear quotes and the ethics of our fathers and in other places in the Talmud? It's from these 5 students. Now, he could have said, oh, that, I give up. It was a failure. So let me just go do farming. Instead, he says, I'm continuing, because we're stiff-necked people. And he built up 5 students, and from them, the Torah went out in a very big way, from those 5 students. So I take from that, do your best, and never give up. And even if you think 5 students is much less than 24,000, you don't really know. You can meet one little person that looks to you like a little pushover or like not important or nobody's giving attention. That person could be the most important. Oh, but we don't always recognize it. We always want to go to the people that everybody's getting attention from, and we'll get attention from. So if anybody speaks Hebrew, what is the Hebrew word for happiness?
Simcha.
Simcha. Just one word. But you ask them translated into English, for example, I could say joy, I could say happiness. Now, Hebrew is really Lashon HaKodesh. Simcha really comes from Lashon HaKodesh, which means a holy tongue, a holy language. When we go into a secular language, it's not holy anymore, but actually it can be very illuminating, because now we have 2 words. And I specifically use the word joy and not happiness, and I'm going to find my chart. So happiness, see my little chart.
It's actually a
chart. A real little chart. And so happiness is something we get. It's external. So it's externally based. It's success related. Yeah. If everything went well for us, I'm happy now. It's dependent on circumstances. Interpersonal relationships. You treat me nice, I'll be happy, and I'll be nice to you too. When things go well, it's a response, right? It's I respond. It receives, just give me. To be happy, I need you to give me. Even God, give me the blessings, please. And it's self-centered. Am I happy? Am I oh, I'm not happy, so I'm unhappy. Joy, different. Joy is internally generated. It's unaffected by things from the outside. It's a state of mind. Yes, we sometimes have to work on it. It's proactive, it gives, and it's transcending our own needs. Now, happiness has ego in it. So basically, ego is very tricky. As long as we live from an ego place, we're always going to be busy with being happy/unhappy, more unhappy than happy, because I need to be treated nicely and well and so on. But see, joy is really, it really comes, it's a divine property. There's a little verse in Hebrew that says, joy and gladness are in his place. Where is, who his? Capital H, God. God, wherever he is, his entourage, it must be joyful. If you're not joyful, he's not coming to visit you. His amniotic fluid is joy. So if you want to get in there, you have to be. Now, God is the CEO and sole distributor of joy, not happiness. I didn't say happiness, I said joy. So you want to go to God? You have to come with joy. You want to be in his space? Joy. If you go away from joy, guess what? You're just disconnected. You're unplugged. You need help? Okay, you want to get into the space? Change your mood. Even if you're upset and crying and something's happening in your life, you know that in the bottom of you, inside you, is a piece of God. That's your soul. It's a piece of God, and just like God's joy, it's always on, no matter what's happening. Maybe, God forbid, somebody suffered a tragedy, and unfortunately this happens. But inside you, there's a piece of indomitable joy that's always on, always up, and never runs out. You don't need to go to the nearest joy station to fill it up. It's inside you at all times. So even when you're grieving or going through a difficult time, and you need time to recover, you're only human, but don't take a whole life to recover. Take as much time as you need. Respect yourself, take the time, and then just remember that inside you, that little joy is always waiting and your best friend. October 7th came, and of course we were all completely shook up and we couldn't sleep, eat, breathe. We were very, very affected. What will we each one do? So I actually ran it. So this is the results of a contest that I ran, and I put it on our news outlets. So and it was participation across all the continents, and people submitted beautiful, beautiful, beautiful art. I will show you our cover art. What a beautiful piece.
I just wanted to ask who made the illustration.
Beautiful.
It looks really special.
So this is my cover art. You have to study this for a long time to see what's in here. She sent a 13-minute audio explaining according to Hasidut and Kabbalah, and it's fascinating. So they dedicated to various hostages, but beyond that, how did we change? We look at the hostages and we say, wow, we thought they're going to come out emotional wrecks, but look how strong they are. And look, they found truth in the darkness, in the tunnels. Incredible. But what about us? They say never let a crisis go to waste. We have to do what we can to be our best. And that's why we have to grow every day. We owe it to the one who created us to do that. Thank you for giving me the chance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Lag BaOmer, it's only been growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more people connecting to the Heilige Reb Shimon as we prepare to greet Mashiach in the light of Pneumius and the light of Reb Shimon comes to the world. Let's dance with Reb Shimon! Lag BaOmer, Lag BaOmer, Hoy Shebe Hoy, Lag BaOmer, Lag BaOmer, Lam Gimela, Hoy Shebe Hoy, Rabbi Shemen Bayechoy, Rabbi Shemen Tzadikoy, Rabbi Shemen Bayechoy, Rabbi Shemen Ashrei Yoladetoy. Let's go! Lama lama gimala, hoy shebe hoy, lama gimala, lama hoy me, gimala mi go, hoy shebe hoy.